Thank you so much once again for making time with Initiative Smart Class. As we have always been coming to your homes with the videos, today too we have come with another beautiful question on how to find the area of a sector. On how to find the area of a sector. Solution. For the sake of those who have not even encountered questions like this, we need to explain certain key words in the question before you can appreciate what we intend to do in solving the question. Let's read the question together. An arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center of a circle. O, the center of the circle O, with radius 7 centimeters. Find the area of the sector. Find the area of the sector. We need to understand certain keywords. We need to understand the meaning of arc. We need to know what we mean by radius. We also need to understand the word substance and also understand what we mean by sector. An arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center of a circle O with radius 7 centimeters. Find the area of the sector. Find the area of the sector. What do we mean by an arc? An arc is any part of the circumference. An arc is any part of the circumference. For instance, if you draw a circle like this, the distance round this circle is what we call the circumference. The distance around the circle is what we call the circumference. Now, any part of the circumference is called an arc. For instance, from here to here, here is an arc. If you consider this part from here to here, it is also an arc. If you consider from here to here, this distance is also an arc. So when we say an arc subtends, it means it holds. An arc subtends, it means it holds an angle of 60 degrees at the center of a circle. Given that here is the center of the circle, we are saying this arc holds an angle of 60 degrees here at the center of the circle. That is the meaning. So an arc subtends, it holds an angle of 60 degrees at the center of a circle. So this is what you know. Any part of the circumference is called an arc. Now, we also need to understand what we mean by radius. Any line drawn from the center of the circle, to touch the circumference, is also called a radius. Once the line emerges from the center of the circle to touch any part of the circumference, that line is called a radius. That line is called a radius. Okay. So we understand what we mean by arc, substance, radius. We also need to understand what we mean by sector. A sector is bounded by a radius and an arc. A sector is bounded by a radii, and an arc. What we mean by a radii is two radius will give us a radii. A sector is bounded by a radii and an arc. So two radius will give us a radii. So by drawing the circle like this, with the center O, so what the question is saying, radii, two radius here, two radius here, and an arc will give us a sector. So this has given us a sector. And the question says that an arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the circle. So here is 60 degrees. This arc is holding an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the circle. That is the meaning. So for instance, this gives us a sector. This gives us a sector. The question says we should find the area of that sector. We should find the area of that sector. We need to know and understand that the area of the whole circle, here is pi r squared. This is the formula for finding the area of the whole circle. The whole circle is pi r squared. But the question says we should only look for the area of this sector. Radius here, and then this arc. In effect, the area that this sector is covering, this circle is covering this whole portion of this board, the board I'm writing on. This circle is covering this whole section of this board. But now we want to know the area that this sector here is covering on the board. This is what I mean. If I clean this sector, you can see clearly that the circle, only section of the circle is covering the board. Only a section of the circle is covering the board. In effect, it means this sector here was also covering a certain area on the board. This sector here was also covering a certain area on the board. So each sector comes with its own angle. Each sector comes with its own angle. For instance, if I should draw another circle like this, and this is the center, we can get this one, we can get this one here. This sector here is also having its own angle here. This sector here is also having its own angle here. This sector is also having its own angle. So each arc is subtending an angle at the center of the circle. But here we have been tasked to find the area of the sector where the arc here is subtending an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the circle. So we want to find the area of this sector, the area that this sector is covering on the board, if the arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the circle. But that is the point. And we are saying that the whole area of the circle is pi r squared. The whole area is pi r squared. So if the whole area is pi r squared, then we are only interested in this section, which is the area of this sector. So what we need to do is to find the angle that the sector comes with, which is theta, the angle here, theta. We are taking it as theta. Out of 360 degrees times pi r squared. So out of the whole area, that is the whole circle, we want to find the area of this particular sector. And this sector comes with its own angle. For instance, if you are looking at this circle, and then you want to find the area of this sector also comes with its own angle. This sector also comes with its own angle. So you must look for the angle it occurs with, all out of 360, and then you multiply it by the whole area to get the area that this sector is covering on the board. That is, if you are considering the area this circle is covering on the board. This is a formula work. If the question did not state that take power to be so and so or so and so, you can choose your own power. And that is, in this case, we are going to choose pi equals 22 out of 7. An arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees at the center of the circle. So let me clean and then draw the angle very well so we can solve our question. This one will be, when you draw the circle, the question clearly states that this arc subtends an angle of 60 degrees here. So it means this sector occurs with 60 degrees. And so by using the formula here, our area will be equal to theta out of 360 degrees times pi r squared. Area is equal to 60 degrees times 60 degrees all divided by 360 degrees times 22 out of 7 times 7 centimeters squared, because we can see clearly that our radius is squared. Area therefore will be equal to 0 will cancel 0, 6 goes into itself 1, into 36 6, 7 squared, and we have 7 here, so this 7 will cancel one of the 7 and they will be left with only 7 centimeters squared. 7 centimeters squared. When you come down, it will be 1 out of 6 times 22 times 7 centimeters squared. We have cancelled one of the 7s here. One of the 7s has been cancelled, but the centimeter squared, we did not cancel any of them. Centimeter squared, 7 squared, 49. This 7 will cancel one of them, you'll be left with only 1 7. Here, we know that each of the figures here occur with a denominator of 1. So with the Principle behind multiplication: you multiply all the numerators and then you again multiply all the denominators. We look at 7 times 22. 7 times 22. By splitting it, it becomes easy. 7 times 20 will be 140. 140. And then 7 times 2 will be 14. So 14 plus 140 will be 154 centimeters squared. We will get 154 centimeters squared divided by 6. By using your calculator, you realize that the answer will be 25.67 centimeters squared. Area is in centimeter squared. Let's take note of this. Thank you so much today too for making time with Initiative Math class. Continue to share the videos, like it, and help others to follow so they can equally benefit from this social intervention. God bless you.